the fight, the people aren't going to knock each other out.
Yeah, it's going to be boring as shit. You can go ahead and, for the next 45 minutes, do whatever you want, is what that happened to. I was watching my son. You guys, not like I turned it off and just walked away. I had my boy here last night. No mama was in the house. So while he's running around the house, I got to kind of watch what he's doing. I had no interest in this fight. There was nothing here. Sadam Ali, you defeated Mauricio Herrera by decision. Who gives a fuck? Seriously.
I was 4 hours of boxing at that point, Andrew. Like I started at 3. I went all the way with the project. Here's how bad some of the early cards were. I actually hit pause on my app and then switched over to go watch the football game, which, by the way, when you record a football game and you can fast forward through the commercials, football is so much better when it only takes about an hour to watch it. I'm just saying.
And DAZN, I mean, this was not the co-main event.
No, it's the feature, Andrew. Get the terminology correct. It's called the feature.
Sorry. The feature, right?
Now let's talk about the co-main.
But wait, because this was definitely a fight, Lee, where I think they ran out of fighters and said, what do we got? Who do you have available? And they said, well, I have Mauricio Herrera. Great. We got Sadam Ali. Let's do it. Boom. That's how that fight got made.
Oscar and Eddie Hearn sat together and put some crazy-ass combinations together.
Do you guys really think Mauricio Herrera is going to contend at the junior middleweight division now and go and fight Jarrett Hurd, who's 6'1"? Is that his future? Is he going to go fight the Charlos? I mean, like, seriously. Mauricio Herrera that was just a joke last night. Sadam Ali's a junior middleweight. They have no business fighting each other. Shame on Ali for going the distance. Seriously, your stock, in my opinion, went down last night in my eyes.
Tevin Farmer retains the IBF title. Decisions Francisco Fonseca. Now, the most amusing part of this fight I'll put at the top before we talk about the fight, because Tevin Farmer wins unanimously. He wins all 12 rounds. But the most amusing part is that weird Max dude. Like, who's the white guy that they got? The New York reporter that they got who shit all over the WBA and the main event. And he also, after this fight, his crazy fucking rant, and I quote, okay, this is a direct quote. Well, with Tevin Farmer winning this fight and being the man in this weight class, we're going to have to see people from PBC fighting people from Matchroom or from Golden Boy. Like, that has to happen. Like, this fighter is so good. Tevin Farmer is so good that people are going to have to fight outside of their organizations. And all I kept thinking was, you know nothing about boxing. Like, you literally know nothing about like, the only way to make a PBC fighter fight somebody outside of the PBC is to threaten to take away their belt. Like, that's it. They're not coming after anybody else's belts. They're not.
The PBC, I see it turning a little, though, on social media. There's not too many fans of these guys anymore.
And people are getting upset, but the reality,
Lee.
We're
talking about 3 years now. We're going on the 3rd year of these guys holding on to these belts, not unifying, constantly, you're the wrong...
And they control everything from about junior lightweight up to just about super welterweight. Like, they control the lightweights to welterweight. Like, they control the entire division.
Who controls that?
PBC.
Who? I give them the welterweight division. They might have, like, the featherweight with Mauricio and Frampton and all them. But they're losing a lot of star power everywhere else. And Lee, you got to admit, Lomachenko, Terrence Crawford, Triple G, Saul Alvarez, these guys, Slick, these guys dominate the weight classes that they're in right now, and none of these guys are attached to the PBC. But when you ask people who's the best fighter in that division, gosh darn it, Deontay Wilder ain't even the second best anymore. He is now 3rd best in his division. It is changing just a little, and I think what's really going to happen, what needs to happen, is once the Charlos and everyone starts seeing they're not cool anymore. Once they start going to those clubs and they got everyone saying, man, you're a paper champ, you're fake. Yeah, I know you're proclaiming everyone wants to fight you. You guys ain't doing shit over there for 3 years. You're going to start seeing their tunes change a little to Al Heyman. I think these guys, deep down, are prize fighters, but they got talked out of it. In some part of their career, they stepped into Al Heyman's office, and he gave them this whole fucking hot air about you stay with me and I'll make you a millionaire and you're going to keep your title your whole career. That's starting to play thin now. I know it took 3 years, but you're seeing it change a lot. You're seeing a lot more. Every time these guys speak, Lee, if you go down to the comments, it ain't good. It ain't good. A bunch of paper champ shit, bunch of you hide behind your manager. You know, you got the UK as a big presence in boxing. They're right now, they're peaking over there. They're constantly on these chat rooms in these boxing, on the boxing side and talking mess to these PBC guys. So let's hope what that man was saying last night is right, that we're going to start seeing a lot more fights.
Not. Stop getting everybody excited. Just stop it. Stop it.
Hey,
do you think
Kevin
people?
Farmer.
Do you really think that people listen to this show because they want to hear what could happen, or the reality of what everybody already thinks, which is we're getting fucked by the PBC?
Well, I hear you, but I'm trying to. You see, you got to start something here. It's a snowball
Shout out
effect.
to Kelly
right?
King, who actually gets me.
Everyone needs to start. You start going out there and writing it on there that they ain't shit, and they're going to start asking their manager to make them that guy again. You know, before Al Heyman, a lot of those fighters are supposed to be the next generation. Dead serious. Mikey Garcia, Spence, the Charlos, these guys are all supposed to be the next coming. And now they're in their early 30s and ain't shit happening. Whatever. You see it changing. Hey, Lee, back to Farmer, though?
Andrew.
He looked decent. I knew it was Bob. What, Bob?
Did you know that I created the Ice Capades at Madison Square Gardens?
Tevin Farmer looked good last night.
Tevin Farmer retains IBF title. I'm going to read the story.
Oh, man.
Really? You want to just skip right through it?
Go ahead.
Are we not going to talk about the cross-eyed wonder?
Go ahead. You're such a dick. Go ahead. Read the story.
Dude, he's
Don't
a special
say
fighter. Like, he can literally see the fighter out of the corner of his eye while he's fighting him.
It might be another
Does
dimension.
anybody notice that he stares at the dude's left shoulder because he's cross-eyed to the right? So he's staring to the left to attack the dude on the right.
That's a part of the matrix even Lomachenko don't have.
Fuck.
Hello.
Dude, he's got eyes on the side of his head. All I wished is that they had that referee with the great facial expressions and the big bug eyes. He did the Max fight, the very first fight. I really wanted him to do the Devin Farmer fight. I would have taken a picture of the two of them in the ring together. That would have been quite the sight. It would have been the best. Philadelphia's Farmer, 28-4-1, 6 KOs. Made the second defense of his IBF junior middleweight title. He won by outpointing Australia's Billy Dibb on August 3rd in Sydney. The fight was contested almost exclusively on the inside, and Farmer and Fonseca banged away.
Yes, it was.
Fonseca consistently came forward, but he could not land a shot on Farmer hard enough to change the complexion of the fight. Farmer fought for the second time in 8 weeks. He defended his 130 belt title on October 20th when he battered Tengenson to the body in the 5th round stoppage at the Garden in Boston. There you go, Andrew. Anything you want to add about that fight?
You know what? Did you get what I said when I said Farmer reminds me of JT?
JC?
No, JT. James Toney, man. I put lights out.
Okay, no, I didn't get that reference.
He reminded me a little James Toney last night. You say the way I like how the reporter put in there that the fight was in the inside, because it was. This was a very good fight if you're paying attention to it. There was a lot of punches being thrown and missed on some great defense by Farmer in that. And that's why I brought up the word the Matrix. You know, everyone likes running around talking about, oh, look at Lomachenko's ducking all these punches. He's ducking all these. And it looks good. Don't get me wrong. But there's another champion in that division could do the same shit. Maybe not on the same level, but it's right. I would love to see Farmer and Lomachenko to go at it right now. I really would. Farmer has sold me. 3 fights this year. He's looked better every time. Last night he went up against a guy who was 26-1, who was a ranked fighter, and he looked pretty damn good again. And yeah, I thought he looked like James Toney to me. Poor man's James Toney. We know Toney's a Hall of Famer at this shit in the inside. But Farmer, he keeps practicing at it. He can get there. Definitely think if Lomachenko is looking for an opponent because Mikey Garcia is moving up to welterweight, you got to look at Farmer now. He's the champ, and he's a proven champ. So, yeah, I like that fight.
Andrew.
Yes, Bob.
You know that I created Ringling Brothers in Madison Square Garden?
No, I did not. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I knew P.T. Barnum personally. 19, whatever. I was 20 years old at the time, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Barnum said, let's start a circus.
Diggs. All right. Diggs just scored a touchdown. Come on. Let's go. The games are on, man. It's the first
I'm going to introduce the next story, Andrew.
Let's do.
Chad Smith destroys Rocky Fielding in 3 for the WBA title. I thought you'd want to know his real name. Chad. He just speaks Spanish, that's it.
Nice.
You bought into it, like everybody else. Fucking Oscar's making all the money on it.
New York. Rocky Fielding's size advantage definitely didn't matter because he threw the fight on Saturday night. Canelo Alvarez's viciously went after the taller, heavier Fielding's body and knocked him out in the third round of their super middleweight title before a sellout crowd of 20,112 at Madison Square Garden. Alvarez knocked down Fielding once apiece. Oh, Keith, you were tired by the end of the night there, buddy. Madison Square. Alvarez knocked down Fielding once apiece with left hook. Oh, Keith, you were doing so well. I know it was midnight, buddy, but fuck. Alvarez knocked down Fielding once apiece with left hooks to the body. What does that even mean, Andrew? Can you translate this? Alvarez knocked down Fielding once apiece.
You watched the fight. Just say what you watched, man.
Look, I'm reading the story. Think I'm going to let Idek off the hook just because we're at the end of the story? Referee Ricky Gonzalez stopped the fight at 2:38 of the third round immediately following the fourth knockdown. Mexico's Alvarez now improves to 51-1-2, who went off as roughly a 15-1 favorite and won the WBA World Super Middleweight title from England's Fielding, who got paid. He placed his shots very well, Fielding said. I got paid, Fielding said. He caught me. I stood there too long.
You're so stupid. I got paid.
What else did he do? He didn't warm up for the fight. He looked like some businessman that they hired to play the role of a boxer.
Dude, you didn't listen to me. That's what makes me mad about you sometimes, Lee. I told you he didn't look like a boxer. I told you he doesn't move. I told you he's a heavy bag. And now you're like, oh, the fight was fixed. What the fuck?
Andrew.
Come on, man.
I'll
What?
let you in on a secret. I knew that piece, I told Lee, do that. It's going to piss Andrew off.
I'm telling you, this kid.
Keep going. You're doing
You
good.
guys, he was a fucking heavy bag. That's all he was. There was no fix.
It was fixed.
You don't.
He did the Oscar De La Hoya body shot dance.
Oh, but that's a great body. No, I don't know if Bernard's body shot landed as good as Canelo's, though, Lee.
It knocked all the wind out of me. I couldn't. I was like slapping the mat and going, "Fuck you, Matt. I want to stand up." Like an Oscar. I mean, the punch was so good.
I was so disappointed.
I was so disappointed in the fight. Like, I really wanted to give the fans what they wanted, which was, getting my ass kicked.
He was hitting the ground at he was thinking, get up, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what Oscar was thinking. Here's exactly the sound effect in Oscar's head. Cha-ching!
I'm going to make Hopkins my partner tonight.
Fuck. Go ahead. Finish your rant about...
I'm telling you, right before he goes down, he was already red on the ribs. The ribs had already been exposed. You want to cover up and take your headshots? Are you forgetting that we hit to the body? That's what happened last night. You had a guy who just goes, oh, look, he's going to punch me, puts both gloves up in front of his face, waits for you to punch, and then he retaliates. But he forgot this kid, Saul Alvarez, throws a left hook to the body constantly. Constantly. He didn't know that. Has he even fought a Mexican? Seriously, look up Fielding's record. I bet you there's not one Latin name on it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, let's do it. Look it up, because that's what he was missing last night. He fucking forgot about the body attack. Whoever he had in the corner sucked too, telling him to stay on the fucking ropes. Are you serious? Did anyone hear that in between rounds? We want you to stay up. What did he say? You gotta make a stand. Make a stand. Drop a jab right hand, you fucktard. If anyone watched the fight, The kid doesn't try it one time.